All right. So yeah, 0 to 40 was by far the hardest thing I had to do. It took me years to go from 0 to 40. So I first started RDC in 2017, and it was just an idea. So I was working in the gym. I was doing 60 hours a week in the gym. And, I had a breakdown of relationship. And, as many of you know, it wasn't just me working in the gym. There was other things attached to that. But, that was a part of my life. That was a part of my environment. It was a part of me sort of breaking down. And so I wanted different. I could see this thing, the internet, and its possibilities, and I knew people were doing online training, but I didn't know how successful you could be. But I thought like this could be a real thing. I always thought I could have 1,000 people I could be helping online compared to the 40 odd clients I had in the gym, and then not doing 60 hours a week in the gym. And so that was a big part of it for me. Do you guys hear that? The motorbike. Shut the hell up. um, so my whole thing was how can I create this lifestyle where I had more space and time? Because I always thought, I need more time. I need more time to do the things I want. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to earn more. I didn't want to be stuck in this rut of always, having to find money and pay off things and pay off a mortgage and things like that. That was one of my concerns. I thought I'd always be working and I'd never have time to do the things I wanted. Okay, so a lot of my journey was, and my thinking was around, okay, this online business that could give me freedom, that could give me this space to be able to go and do other things. So that was the beginning. So that was my thoughts. Breakdown of relationship. I was always tired. I was always, you'd spend so much energy on clients in the gym, and that would just break you down. Or at least me anyway. I know, I'm not the most empathetic person, but I know at the same time, even not being an empathetic person, I'm probably more empathetic now, but I know that still wore me down. That's still you're still listening to 40 people's conversations every week. And if you're a coach or a strength coach, you know that people are putting people put their energy onto you, and you feel that. And so I was like, well, and I still wanted to help people. I absolutely love helping people. That's why I'm putting this call on, was to put it out there to people, that hopefully I can help you guys. If you want to go online, and this is the whole point of this, is to really either get you to take this step to go online or to help you build your online. Yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, so I remember being in the gym, and I was reading Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, and I was like, oh, what could I do? If you've ever read The 4-Hour Workweek, it's pretty funny because it's sort of like, it's very old still. Like it's like he made it in the early 2000s. So he was talking about, you can make CDs, you can make a program and put it on CDs, and you can sell the CDs on TV sets and all this random stuff. Very outdated, but the philosophy remained true. And so I was in the gym. I was like, oh, what could I do? What do I like doing? What would make me stick to it? And I think I was actually training Jaden and Matt at the time, or we're doing something. We're in the gym, we're at the squat racks, and we're talking. It might even have been Grimer. And I was like, I've had this idea. I want to train rugby players online. I think I could train thousands of rugby players, because I was already doing the Poliquin. I was already using the Poliquin system, and I saw a big gap in training for rugby players and the way they currently trained, or how many currently trained, and then try to get the performance on the field. I saw that there was a gap there in the knowledge, and I wanted to fulfill that gap. I wanted to go back to myself when I was 15 and give myself that knowledge, that could have possibly made me a much, much better rugby player. And I'm not saying that you need to do this. Like you don't need to like create this. You don't need to find a gap in the market where, you think you can totally fix things. All you need to do as an online coach is find the person you're really talking to. I'm going to talk about that a bit more when we get to the marketing. But yeah, so that's a bit of my journey there and how I started and how I started thinking about it. And I just want to give you that quick rundown. So if you're on this, is probably because you're a coach of some sort, and if you're watching this, you're either online or you're trying to get online, or you're not getting the results you want as an online coach. And there's so many different models of how you could be an online coach. And I'm not saying that my model is the best. I want to show you different models you could possibly go down, because we're all different. We all have going to be targeting different people, and yeah, there's just lots of different ways you could possibly go about this. And yeah, I want you to think about, what could you do as an online coach? And you can think about it like this. Like, I still train people in person, but what it allows me to do is to pick and choose when I train people in person. It's not like a necessary thing. It's more just because I like to keep my skills sharp and I like to train people. All right. Free your dom. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was all about go digital or perish. And that's something that's been sitting with me big of late, is go digital or perish. Like, how many people have sort of, and perish is a harsh word, because like as trainers, you'll never fully perish, but you become more irrelevant. As inflation sort of goes up, your prices are going to have to keep climbing up as well. And yeah, that's going to make it hard. If you don't have something online to reach more people or to reach a certain person, it's going to make it harder. Okay. Yeah. So this is that whole, in the beginning, I was working 60 hours a week and I had to get away from it. There was another feeling I felt was, I didn't know where I was growing to next. Was I still going to be, I hate to say his name, but Dave, he was a cranky old man working in the gym doing 60 hours a week and he was 40. Was I going to be that guy? Or was I going to be, or was I going to grow out of that? And was I going to think bigger? So yeah, I was technically a big fish in a small pond. And then when I left that realm, I became the ultra tiny fish in a huge pond. And I really felt that too. All right. So when I first started, late 2017, there wasn't really, people were definitely doing online training, but it wasn't to the extent that you can now train online with people. Like the apps that I use now, the app I use now is fantastic. And there's so many of them that you can use now. It's seriously fantastic. It makes online training a breeze. And it makes it so easy to deliver a high quality service. So online training now is just something that, like, if you're training people and you're not doing it, you're really missing out. And it's not even just that, you're missing out. You need to think about the people out there that are looking for you. They actually need you. You have all the knowledge. You have the experience, and you're keeping it to yourself. That's something I like to think about for myself. It's if I'm not putting my knowledge out there, my thoughts out there, that might possibly help someone, and is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? So I'd never made a website before. All I had was that idea. All I had was the idea, okay, I'm going to go online and I'm going to have thousands of people. I always just thought that. I thought it was going to be super simple. I actually thought that, schools would let me come and chat to them and like do talks with all their rugby players and do like presentations. And as soon as I got it up and running, I emailed all these schools, got into these directors, and no one gave me a gig. Hey, no one even, no one even like gave me a sniff. Everyone's just like, no, we've got our own rugby program. I'll get into the marketing of I've got a laugh. I've had a laugh recently about that. Anyway, so yeah, I just started. I didn't know where to start, honestly. Like I had no idea because there wasn't that much information on it. Now there's that many people out there being like, do my online training program, rah, rah, rah. I'll teach you how to have 1,000 clients in 2 weeks or whatever. They're everywhere now. But I had no idea, honestly. I was just like, oh, if I just start writing one program a day for rugby players, I thought might possibly be interested in it. And so I did that. I literally every day, because I was still working at the time, between 40, at one point I was doing between 40 and 60 hours, just depending on the week in the gym. So my lunch time spent, I would eat lunch and then I would write one program. And that's it. Like I would just get that one program done. I thought, I would just eventually have enough programs, and I did it for each age group, each position that I thought, could use this position. And then I started making the next phase of that and the next phase. And so I ended up with over 100 programs, slightly different programs I had made, something like that. And to this day, I don't think I used one of them. But to look back on it, what it did, it gave me that behavior of doing that one thing towards the business every day. And that one thing of that behavior then turned into something else. It gave me that momentum to turn it into something else. So yeah, I inquired to heaps of people about building their website. I finally settled on one, and he's a great guy. It's a bit slow sometimes getting back to me, but we get the stuff done. Anyway, I don't want to go into that too much. If I had my time over again, I would build it from scratch myself and learn, but doesn't matter. That was just where I was in that current space and time. Now I like to learn things, and I see everything I do as building a skill. Okay, so like even right now, this talk, I wasn't nervous at all. And I used to get nervous for talks like this, even though there's only 10 of you, but I think there's 20 that were going to watch the recording. I don't get nervous anymore because I just change how I look at it as it's a skill. I'm just building this skill. And each time I present it's just another opportunity for me to sharpen this skill. And at some stage, I might be able to use this skill to help more people, to whatever, to make more income if I need to. Yeah, it's quite a different way of looking at things. So I was speaking to my current clients. I had a few rugby players I was already training, and yeah, I was talking to them about what they wanted for online. So this was my research, and I didn't do a whole lot of research at the time. Honestly, I just thought, okay, yep, I would like this product, so everyone's going to like this product. Now, if I had my time over, I would do a lot more research. I would be, before I made the product, I would be going and asking who I thought it was for. So who the person I think is going to be buying this product, I would be going and asking them what they would want out of this product. What do they want to get out of it? Okay, so if it's online training, okay, so like if you got a 40-year-old mum who's a bit overweight, and has struggled with weight loss for many years, has their yo-yo diets, I would go and ask him, okay, what's going to get you across the line? What's going to get you the results that you want? And then, I would then start trialing it. I would start to build a program, and then I would be starting to get people to trial it for free. And I would be doing research that way, and I'll be asking them questions. Actually, you don't even need to do it for free. You could put a price on it for sure. It's just up to you on how confident you are. You could start with full price if you wanted to, if you felt confident. But the whole point of the research then is to dive deeper into who this person is. What is it they really want? So opening up. Okay, so to get to opening day, I thought, okay, I made this like full-on exercise library on my website. I made so I did 300 exercises in 3 days at the gym. I got this young guy to come and do all my filming. I think it was like someone's mate of a mate of a mate or something, someone's cousin in there as well. He was at uni, and he did probably about 10 grand or 10 to 12 grand worth of work, like 3 days straight, and over 300 videos edited. That's a lot of work. And I paid him. I said I had 2 grand cash. What did he do it for 2 grand cash at the time? And he did it for 2 grand cash. So that's pretty fantastic. But yeah, I shot all these exercises without actually thinking about like how I was going to use them. I just shot the exercises, being like, yeah, these are the exercises I use, so I need them all. And there's plenty I still haven't even used. Hey, like there's still plenty there. Because what happened is as I started getting people on it, I started realizing, okay, well, these people are just not up to this. You know, like I want to advance them, but like they're just not there. Like it's just going to take time. And it's different. Online training is so different to seeing people in person, because in person you get that feel of where that person's at. And yeah, I get videos from all my people, but it's very now I do anyway. I get videos from them, and it's very different. Yeah, so originally all my programs were on a little PDF form on the website, and they could log in and see it on the website. And they could pick their position, and then their age, and then their goal, and then the program would come up with a PDF on the website. But that's since changed. Now I use Train Heroic. There's plenty of different apps out there if you want to have a look, and it's so super easy because you can build all your different programs and keep them in your library. And this is part of the automation. You can just copy and paste and put them in, change them as you go. If you have someone with certain needs, this is just depending on how many people you want. All my marketing has been fairly organic. Like I have not spent that much on ads. I'm running more ads now because I've been learning about how to do that. I've been creating a funnel to do that. That's part of the goal of getting to 1,000. But yeah, all my marketing I had no idea how to write on Instagram. It was just one of those things which I started just doing one thing a day. I just started doing one post a day. And like I haven't deleted one of my Instagram posts. You can go back and you can look at them all, and you can literally see how I changed. And you might even be able to pinpoint the moment where I started making money. Like I know, because I can. I'm like, wow, that is the day I started to understand. And that wasn't until I hit about 40 clients. So yeah, 40 clients, I was making some money and I was getting by. But like, yeah, there was a moment in time where it went bang. So right now I have about 300. I signed up about 30 clients this month so far. So we lost a little bit over COVID, and they're all sort of coming back. I think we're at 310 now, something like that. I have about 3,500 Instagram followers. So that means I'm sitting at about, and most of them come from Instagram. Okay. So if you put that into account, that means that like 10% of my Instagram is nearly signed up. So it's not so much about having a big following. If you have a big following, fantastic, like that's great. But you don't need to have that big following to be able to make money, to be able to get people to sign up. What you really need is a strong message. You need to know who you're talking to. And then once you understand who you're talking to, once you understand what they desire, what they need, what they fear, then your organic reach is going to, you should really be able to target that organic reach because your message becomes strong. But we'll get into that. So yeah, the first 2 months I hadn't had a sale. That was pretty harsh. Hey, there was a lot of head noise. There was a lot of like, oh, am I good enough? Why can't I sell this? Is this product just a piece of crap? And I know we all feel that. Like, I know each one of us will have those doubts, especially when we're going online. We always like to think, am I good enough? But hey, I got over that. I remember when I got my first sale, actually. And like, I had to really talk this guy into it. And at the time, it was only $12 a week. Hey, I've actually put up my prices tenfold now. Because my original idea was I could have 1,000 people at $12 a week. That's 12 grand a week. And I was like, that's plenty. That's all I need. And I thought, yeah, $12 a week, everyone will do it for that price. You know, everyone can get this better training. You know, we can make a huge difference in the world. And in Rugby Australia, we'll be doing it heaps better. Anyway, it didn't quite happen. Hey, I literally had to talk this guy into buying $12 a week with no sign up contract or anything. He can leave any time. I remember this conversation went on for hours. But when the first guy signed up, I was just so relieved. Anyway, I had it comfortable at the gym. Okay, so like, I'm not saying that you need to do this, but this was my experience. Actually, I do not suggest doing this at all, because you could use the money that you currently getting at whatever job you're at, and you could use that to fuel your online and grow it at a much faster rate. But yeah, I felt I was just comfy at the gym, you know, like I think I was making 120K to 150K at the gym. And I don't mind talking about that. Like I can talk about money all day. Like I've got no attachment to my money or what I make. It's got nothing to do with my worth. In Western society, we have this weird, strange thing. It's like where we attach our worth to how much money we make. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, I was making about 120K to 150K, which is pretty good for, you know, I was a fairly young man at the time. I think I was like 25, 26. I'm 29 now. And yeah, it was just easier. It's like it wasn't really pushing me to have to go online. Like I could just sort of keep cruising. And you know, at that stage of my life, like that's fine, but you know, I needed to be pushed to need to change. You know, I had to be I would say in fear of not making enough money, to be pushed to take myself to a new level. Now, I've actually changed. So right now, I'm actually much more pleasure driven. I'm now going after 1,000 people because it brings me pleasure to see myself helping these mostly guys become stronger and faster. Like it literally brings me so much pleasure to see that. Let's check. Whereas before it was just like, oh, I you know, if I don't get people online, you know, I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to live the lifestyle I want to live. So yeah, I left the gym, and I had freedom on my mind. I thought I would go around Australia and I'd get to 1,000 members while I was traveling around Australia, and it'll be all good. I didn't. I definitely didn't. I think I got to 40 while I was traveling Australia. So that kept me going. That kept petrol in the car, and that kept some food coming in. So that kept my steak coming in. But those first 40 members were flukes. Like I didn't know how to sell. And you can have the best product ever, but if you can't sell, then it's rubbish. Because that means no one can use it, which means it's not the best product ever. So learning how to sell is probably one of your biggest challenges. And I know most PTs, most coaches, they don't know how to sell. And that's not their fault. Like you're not really trained how to sell. Like I relied on the gym. It was mainly my results that would show other people in the gym, and people would come up to me and they would see me training and they'd be like, hey, I want to look like you. Or, hey, I want to do what you guys are doing in the gym. Like, this is really cool. And so I pretty much just thought this thing would be built the same. I would just, you know, show how we trained on Instagram and everyone would want to do it. No, yep, didn't work. Hey, struggled my way to 40 people. So, yeah. But you know what? We got there in the end. I can actually look back at my posts and I can see which ones, when I didn't know how I was trying to sell, I can actually look back and I can see sometimes where my messaging was actually right and I did actually convert. But like at the time, I didn't actually understand why that was happening. now I can look at my Instagram, I can look at my funnel, and I can almost tell you what will convert or when something will convert. Um, so that's pretty powerful, like knowing when a post is really going to hit. Um, there's one thing I wanted to say about marketing right now was you got to have the right message to the right person at the right time. And I did not have the right message all the time. I was all over the shop with my message. And to the right person, yeah, I was actually hitting my a lot of my demographic were actually following me on Instagram. Actually, sorry, I was getting a lot of strength coaches following me on Instagram. And it was when I changed my messaging, I got less strength coaches and more players. Because there was a point of time where I was thinking like, all I keep getting is these damn strength coaches following me. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna teach you how to do strength conditioning. I don't care. Stop following me. Well, you can follow me all you want, but whatever. give me the kids that want to come and get stronger and faster for footy. Show me these people. Anyway, so fixing out those parameters, the right person and the right message really changed a lot for me. It really changed. That really started this little momentum shift. So before I got this momentum shift, I upgraded the program. So I started thinking it was the product's fault, and that's why I went Train Heroic, and I got it all on the app now. It's super nice. It's way more automated, and it still gives me lots of user friendliness to be able to chop and change things as we need. And I think that's been like the cornerstone for like me holding over 200 people, this whole time, even through COVID, was that proving my value when people were losing their money or not having as much money, that I was still valuable to them. Okay. The automation. So if you're going to have, it depends what sort of model you want to go down, but automation has been really big for me. So now I've been really working on my automation on my emails, a lot of my marketing is going down to automation now. This is just giving me space. All right. So like the automation that you can set in, especially around your marketing, is just going to give you more space to be able to either make the product better and deliver more value. Okay. And I know that's what a lot of you want to get to. And that's what I'm really pushing. This is what's part of me helping me get to 1,000. But yeah, automation of the program. So if you're going to have a really high ticket offer, so if you're going to have $70, $80 a week, something like that, then your automation of the program probably doesn't need to be as automated. You could probably do something that's a bit more tailored. But I'm going to give you this question, and it's one I like to talk about with a lot of strength coaches. Like, most people that come to you have missed the basics, right? And like any strength coach that goes and looks at someone, they go, you can look at people, you go, wow, you can't even move. Like, you don't even deserve to be squatting. You don't even deserve to be running. You haven't even built the foundation of your foot strength to be able to deserve running. You can't even land properly. So I'm going to give it to you as like, well, how different is each of your beginners programs going to be when someone first comes to see you? It's not going to be that, it shouldn't be that much different because most people have missed the basics. Okay, so like you can really have like a very, very staple sort of first couple of blocks of your program because you know that these people are weak in areas, So it's going to make your life a lot easier if you had like this automated sort of program when you might just need to make small chops and changes for certain people. If you automate your systems, how it all runs, it's actually making your business more valuable. Okay, so the more you can actually be out of the business, the more value that your business is actually going to have. Anyway, that's not something I want to talk too much more about tonight, but I can talk about it another time if we want. So 4,300. So the thing that really changed for me was doing the Elite Money Club course with Paul Council. Like, the course is about obviously making money, but that's to get to freedom. And freedom, and Paul's real message is actually freedom is within. And like, it took me a while to actually realize that, like, a lot of what he's saying is when you're free within, then it allows you to do everything that you want to do. It allows you to get all the work done you want to get done, because you don't have these little things stopping you from being productive. And that's the way, you know, I've been doing this course now for 10 months, and it's amazing. My productivity has just gone through the roof. And it's more been about freedom within myself. This discipline to get things done to help other people. And one of the other big changes was I saw money as a scorecard. I'm a very competitive person, and I don't want many material things. But I started to see money as a scorecard for how many people I'm helping. And that mental shift is if you can make that mental shift, it's phenomenal. Because then you just want to be able to help more people. And, you know, the higher the ticket, or the higher you're going to charge, obviously the greater probably impact you may actually have in that person's life. Okay, so one of the big things that I learned from this was actually the marketing side of things. Like, was really, like I was saying, is who am I talking to? Okay, who is this person that's buying my product? What do they want? What are they desiring? What do they fear? And you can do that for anyone, buying anything. And the more that you understand them, the easier you're going to make your life. The easier you're going to have these conversations with them. And the more you're going to be actually able to help them. Because once you understand them and you can sort of see life from their perspective, it's easier to guide them. And that's what people want. People want to be guided. We have that innate desire within us to be led. Each and every one of us in this chat, and everyone that's going to listen later on, we have that desire to be led. So lead those people. Lead the people you want to lead. So yeah, like I said, what changes? I built that work ethic. And I started lining up these dominoes. Okay, so like I keep hinting at this one thing. Find the one thing that's going to make the biggest change in your life, in your business, everywhere. And you just do that, chip away at that each day. Do that one little thing. And you know what happens over time? Is actually a small domino can knock over one twice its size, but it can't knock over one that's 3 times its size. So if you look at your goals, if you look at what you want to do, if you can just knock over that one little domino that's going to knock over one that's just a little bit bigger than itself, then that one can knock over another one that's a little bit bigger than itself. And then we get that momentum. The hard thing is finding which one is the right one to knock over first. That can be the hard thing that changed. And that was a lot of the guidance that I had that really helped me. Okay, so I've been speaking about this a lot. It's like, okay, if you're going to market, if you're going to go on Instagram, if you're going to go Twitter, YouTube, whatever, you can put content out, you can put out sales or copywriting. You can put a sales post out. But like I was saying, it doesn't matter what you put out. You can put the best content out there ever. And it just might miss because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't really understand the person, what they want. What are they looking for? as soon as you get to understand that, it's just going to make your content creation so much easier rather than just putting content out for the sake of putting content out. That's what's going to start starting to make change in your content. And there might be some people listening to this who are just seriously epically smart and can like make such good content that like they get thousands and thousands, 50K followers just because they make such great content. That's fantastic. Good. But a lot of us can't do that. Like I might not, I possibly could do that, but it's not the way I like to do it. It's just another way of doing it though. Like there's so many ways that you can skin a cat. This was another shift I had to have as well around my marketing, because sometimes I get people in the program where I was like, oh, is this good enough? And that would impact my marketing. That would impact how I spoke about the product. And it came with this shift which came with thinking that Paul taught us that, we're the prize. You're the prize. Each one of you in here is the prize. You each have your own individual experiences, talents, knowledge, and ways that you can help people. So if you can make that shift to you becoming the prize, you have the knowledge that you can help people, it's going to reflect in your marketing. Because what you think of yourself reflects in the language that you speak or you write and the confidence that's portrayed. So people are better off paying for your program than just doing one-off exercises that you posted about. How many PTs do you see just like post like random workouts? And it's like, I wonder if someone actually did that. Maybe they did. I don't know. Oh, how about that one exercise? Hey, look at this. Good morning I did. Look at this. The good morning. It's really good for your adductors, your glutes, your lower back. And you need that for footy. Is that post going to really hit? Is that, like someone might go and try it and be like, oh yeah, that worked. That made me feel better. And is that person going to get great results from that when it's out of context of like when they should use that, how they should use that? For sure, you can put that all together in the post if you wanted to. But are they going to get better results if they paid you for a program that when things should go where and how to build them up well? So aren't you doing them a disservice by not getting them to buy your program? Because people have money. People will find the money if they want it. If they believe the value is there for it. Your job is to be able to get that value to them, show them the value in it. Because if they're looking at your stuff already, then there's obviously value there for them. They're obviously looking for value. You just haven't sold them. You just don't know how to sell to them. All right, this is what I say often. This is what I did. Even with rugby players. I thought I was going, I used to get like competitive and see like when I saw someone else like wanting to train rugby players, I'd be competitive. Now I couldn't give a shit. I'm just like, yeah, it's good. You probably have a different athlete to me. And like, if someone else is training rugby players, it doesn't affect my ability to make money. Not at all. Or pick up people. Because I'm only going to have a tiny slice of the proportion of people that play rugby. There's millions of people that play rugby league, whatever, worldwide. But then, like, I only need like I don't even need 1%. I need 0.15% or something like that. I need such a small slice. That's all for me to actually make enough money and to help as many people as I want, as I want to be able to help. Anyway, if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. That's a real common thing. If you go on your Instagram, you go on YouTube, you go into whatever, how many people are there just like speaking to everyone and not really honing in onto someone they're speaking to? So one of the things I changed was I have a 5-page document on who my avatar is, who this one person is I'm speaking to. Is Jaden still on here? Because it's based on Jaden. It is. Jaden is still on. It's actually based on Jaden. So it was easy for me, my avatar, because I was my avatar. I was that young kid who wanted to be stronger and faster on footy because I wanted to play better footy. Because I wanted more love and appreciation from my teammates. I wanted to feel worthy. You know, I wanted my dad to watch and him to enjoy it and say, man, you had a good game. So you see now, like, I'm already breaking down my avatar to you. So if I know these things, that's what I actually want to feel. It's not that I just want to go and do a bunch of exercises. It is that I do want to become stronger and faster. But what is it about becoming stronger and faster that I really want? Well, yeah, I want to play better on the field. What do I want to do better on the field? You know, and what does that allow me to get? So say I play really well. What do I get out of that? Okay. So, and this is how you can start honing in your message. And this is what I really want to help people with. Is really honing that message, like who you're speaking to. And the higher the ticket, higher you're going to charge, the more you need to know who you're speaking to. Because then it's just going to be so much easier for you to get sales. So much easier. All right. So my journey to 1,000. So the 1,000's always been like that ton mark. I don't know why I put that picture there. I just thought it would be funny. The journey to 1,000 is, my headphones feel funny. It's definitely achievable. I'm going to do it. I don't know when. I'm aiming next year. I think I'll be around 500 at the end of this year, but my funnel is getting better. So my automation of all my funnels, so my emails, everything else that's going on with that, my advertising getting better. So I've got a guy teaching me about Facebook advertising, all the social medias. I've got a guy specifically for that. These are some of the things that are going to help me take it to 1,000. But the other big one down here, which has been working for me of late, is this whole networking thing. This is so powerful, and like we're so scared of it. Like people are like, oh, they see network marketing and like, oh, pyramid scheme. And it doesn't have to be that way, you know. Networking is really just a win-win situation. You know, if someone's really good at selling, then they should get rewarded for that. And that's what networking allows. It allows you to use other people's platforms to sell what you've got, and they should get a slice. You know, it's actually such a powerful thing. And Benny and I, so Benny's on the call. Benny and I are just starting to do that together, and we're trying to work out a way that we can do that together. And it's going to be hectic. Like I'm super excited for it, because it means that not only both our business is going to pick up even better, but we're going to deliver a better product to the people, and we're going to get even better results. And it just means that we grow exponentially, and the amount of people that we help grows exponentially too. Like it's a win-win for everybody. If you allow yourself to see it that way, if you don't get greedy. So just for my members, all my members, I actually gave them 20% if they of the subscription. So say someone signs up to $120 a month, and a kid signs up his friend, he gets $24 a month. You know, he gets 10 people. That's $240. That's a lot for one kid. You know, I got some of the guys in my network who are liking and doing all the videos and stuff. I gave them 25%. So like, that's big. Like I'm just giving it away. I'm like, like have it. Like I'd rather give you more money, incentivize it, and share it out. Like, what am I going to do with millions and millions of dollars? I'd rather other people have millions of dollars with me. Otherwise, I'm just going to be bored in my farm by myself. All right. All right. So what for? What do I want to go to 1,000 for? What's this whole online thing for? There's so much to unpack here. And for me, like I've always had this big picture in mind. Like I've always wanted to have it always brings me fulfillment, obviously helping people. So like this call is bringing me fulfillment. I'll probably have a really high HRV tonight. I will keep learning and growing till the day I die. So like this whole process has just been about learning and growing, learning, growing, learning, growing, and it just keeps happening until I've got to this point. And where you are currently is just a reflection of how far you've grown, and that's fine. Like everyone's got their own journeys. Everyone's got their own values. Sometimes you need to change your values to be able to get to a new place, and that's fine too. You can change your values over for a few years, for a few months, whatever. Whatever you value highest in your life, that can change for a little bit, and it just depends where you're currently at. That's fine. So what for? Income? Yeah. So if I had 1,000 people online on the current prices, I guess I would be grossing. I think I worked it out as around 1.4 million. So like, well, what the hell do you need 1.4 million a year for? Obviously, yeah. I've always said, I don't want to go. I want to buy my property outright. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted space. I wanted to retire before I was 30. Technically, in my head, I've retired. I have. Like, I don't need to work in person anymore. That was my definition of retirement. I can now work from wherever I want, and I have enough money. And that's pretty cool. I could go back on the road and just live by my computer, and do my work, and off I go. And this is that freedom and space, which has always resonated with me. I've always wanted that freedom to have better experiences. If you have freedom within yourself, within your life, from money, like if you're always attached to money and mortgages, then how are you gonna have freedom? How are you gonna have fulfillment in your relationships? You're always going to be worrying about money, always going to be worrying about going to work. You can't really grow any relationship, whereas with a partner or your kids, whatever. So that freedom and that income provides that freedom. It just provides that space, really. So you got to look at what you want. Like if freedom and space is what you want, then you need to get online. Because you can't do it in person. Unless you're going to charge $1,000 a client, I just don't see how you're possibly going to have that freedom and that space by doing it in person. Am I saying that you should stop training people in person? No, like you can train as many people as you like in person, but that should be your choice. That shouldn't be a necessary thing. So the question is, how many do you need? How many people do you need to have on your business? Like you don't need to have 1,000 people. You just need to work out how much is right for you. So then it comes back to the question. Obviously, I spent a lot of time by myself when I was traveling Australia for 8 months, and I thought about this a lot. So what do you want from your life? What do you want from these experiences that you're going to have? What experiences do you want to have? And is your current income going to fuel that? And if not, are you going to change? How are you going to change? So how much do you need to live? How much do you need to fuel the experiences that you want to have, the life learning, whatever? Once you've worked out that, you've got your number, you can work out, okay, well, how many people do I want to be training? What do I want? Who am I going to be training? And what product am I going to be delivering them? Because you could go the high ticket, like I said, you could go like $80 a week. You could have 20 people, and that's 1,600. You know, it's not crazy money, but that's a lot of freedom. That's what I would say. That's about 82K a year or something. What could you do with 82K? You could probably do a fair. It's not going to be all end all. It's not crazy money, but it means you only have to work a couple of hours in person for 20 people. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. 20 people. If you have the right messaging, you have the right person. 20 people could be easy. Or you might want to get a low ticket or lower ticket like I have. Or even better, you could work to having all three. You could have a high ticket, you could have a low ticket, you could have an even lower ticket, or a really, really high ticket. And then you just have income coming from everywhere. But you need the automation to get there. And if you're going to have that, I'm sure you'll have those processes in place. So if you want to start building that, think about how much time you have to give it. A lot of us have been in lockdowns of late, so people have had more time. It's all about how much you want it. Comes down to that. It's like, okay, if you want that, how much do you want it? How much are you willing to give to it? How much time and effort are you actually going to really hone in on it? And what's the fastest way to do that? Yeah, I just wanted to end on this. So think about it. What would your life be like earning an extra 60 to 100K, 20K a year? What would that be like? It was all online. You do it from anywhere. What does that mean to you? What freedom and space does that give you? Now, don't say time. Like I say, it's what space and time. But if you think of it like this, time is a made-up construct. We all have the same amount of time in the day, the month. We might not all have the same amount of time on this living. But what you can do is use your money to buy yourself more space with that time to experience whatever you want to experience. And with that, that will do. That's a lot of talking, isn't it? Like, crazy.
Woo. Yeah, boy.
So, yeah, I'll let the floor have for any questions. But I just wanted to also let you guys know that I will be doing mentorship as well. So I'll be helping people build their online essentially. I want it to be a more interactive thing. So I want to actually go through with anyone I mentor, like actually dive into what they want first. So, what do they want to achieve? What do they want to get out of it? Because then we can start making a product, and I can actually help people, design what's going to be right for their life. So my mentorship is going to involve everything I've learned from RDC, really, and just speed up their journey, speed up your journey. If you're interested, speed up your journey so you don't have to make all the mistakes I did. So you actually have someone who understands how to talk to people and do all the sales. I want to be I know I'm very confident in myself to be actually get people to be earning 60K online a year, and then how to take that further. That's my next sort of journey, is keep building RDC while mentoring people, because it's just something I love. Like I actually I have a few phone calls now. So there's 3 people out of the 10. Well, I'm looking to take 10, but yeah, there's 3 people already. I'm already been helping, and I love it. Like it's good fun. So if you're interested in that, then we can do a phone call. We can talk about it a bit further. Yeah. Other than that, let's get into some questions if you got any. Scott, did you raise your hand? Is that even a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing that I do with my work.
There you go.
I'm used to it, just trying to be polite.
Okay, you can. Yeah, okay, just talk.
No, thanks, man. That was really good. Really
Welcome.
helpful. I like your story, taking us through the story. That was really fun. I don't know if everyone else kind of might have similar questions, but one thing I was thinking about because you're trying to get to 1,000 clients.
Yep.
How does that work with your time? So the way I was looking at from an online perspective is you want to still have some sort of personalization with people.
Yep.
Of like, okay, you're this specific player doing this specific role, and people, I guess, want to feel like they're known by you as the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how will you have time to do that with 1,000 people? And I know a lot of it's based off how much you're charging people. So if you're charging people a bit less, it's going to be less personalized. But just with that many people.
It's a good question. It's a great question. It's something I've thought about a lot, and something like I've played around with a lot, especially as it started to take off. And like I encourage all my members to send me videos and stuff like that, or form, because I want their form to be right. Like a lot of you guys know me, but I'm a big form Nazi. Like I'll definitely yell at you. Like Jaden will let you guys know that I don't mind yelling at you if I think your short form is rubbish. And so it is a challenge. Like I do get a fair few messages a day, but like, it really doesn't take me that long to look at a few videos and give advice and feedback. Like honestly, I spend if half an hour a day, if that. It doesn't take me long to answer the people. And if it gets way out of hand, what I'll do is I'll have what I'm planning to do anyway is get a virtual assistant and have them reply. And then if there's something urgent, like form videos, what I'm going to do is hire another trainer to look at them as well. So we just get another professional to actually look at form. And what I'll say is that the RDC team will be looking at your stuff. But like, if there's anything urgent that my VA sees, they can just send me a message and I can personally answer it. But like everything, there's so much automation I've already set up. So like, I don't do meal plans because that's not my style. If it's your style, that's totally fine. But I do have a whole bunch of education on the website that comes out every single week, and then emails that go to the members of like, hey, check out this about your fuel guide, or Wim Hof breathing. I have so much different stuff in there. You're gonna have a bunch of 16-year-old rugby players doing Wim Hof. So there's a lot of automation behind it that can make it feel more personalized. But yeah, like at the same time, I'm just gonna have to pick and choose with the most important stuff to reply to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'd follow-up question, if that's all right.
Yeah, go.
So with that sort of stuff, how do you know, because you're talking about investing your time and you paid the bloke $2,000 to do your videos and stuff. How do you know where to invest? Like, you can do a marketing course, for example, it might cost $2,000, but then you'll get through it and think, oh shit, that was a waste of time. I should have done it myself, versus, oh, that was actually a really helpful course. I probably should have paid for that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, definitely. It's a tough one because I did many things and some things sucked. You're like, it's hard to know. Like I wish I had a mentor ages ago who had done what I wanted to do. like that would have made my life a lot easier. And I used to think I could just do it on my own. But yeah, I've done a lot of courses over the years, like a lot. I've done marketing ones, and like they never really hit home. If you look at my content, I've never done like a content creation course because my content's all over the place. But it doesn't really matter because my content speaks louder than louder than making it look pretty. If that makes sense. None of my stuff actually. I never like look at that presentation. I don't make things look pretty. What I try and do is make it effective. That's my whole thing. Is if I can be effective, that's more important. But yeah, like that's a really tough question, man. Like that, it's really hard one to answer because there's just that many different courses out there. I can't say which one's going to be good, which one's going to be bad unless I've experienced it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
I would go and say like, what has the person done? What are you meant to get from that? Show me the results. Like if I go do a course, I look at all the reviews really. So,
All right, last question, then I'll be done. Sorry, taking up everyone's time.
Mate, stop saying sorry. Just do it.
The last one was because I kind of think about Instagram. I hate Instagram personally.
Yep.
It gives me the shits.
Yep.
So I don't even like the idea of going on it myself.
Yep.
But have you thought about future stuff? So like say if it changes if Instagram goes away like MySpace did back in the day, or Facebook's kind of fading away slowly.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Instagram's gone to shit anyway. Like my stuff gets half the views it used to, and that's just Instagram being dicks. That's why I have the emails. That's why I have YouTube. That's why I'm just going across platforms. I even have TikTok, which I don't really use, but I just chuck videos on there. Like I don't like the people who own Instagram and what they're doing with it as a platform. But I just use it as a tool, and it's a good tool to be able to get people on and do my programs and help people. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with the user just sitting there and scrolling away and using it till while they're taking a shit. There's something wrong with that. But yeah, like if you just change how you think about it as just a tool of the way you're going to help people, as just another medium of how you can help people, of get your message out there. I think that helps a lot. But yeah, and then you just got to get across all the platforms.
Yeah,
which does
just
take
be
a little
adaptable.
bit of time. Yeah, well, I mean, like that's why I'm across all different platforms. I'm not just on Instagram. Instagram's my big one, but yeah, now my sales funnel is becoming bigger, and if you get a good sales funnel that's working, then you can just get people into that. If you can just get people into wherever the next thing may be, if you can get people into that and you have their email, people will still check your emails. You could do text, like I could do text messages. I've been thinking about it, but same sort of experience.
Thanks, Matt.
Great.
Yeah, Pat, I got a question for you. If you
Yeah,
could, if you go back 5 years and tell your younger self something like, as in, start doing this today to sort of accelerate the journey that you've been on. If you could go back a couple of years, what would you tell yourself?
Find yourself a mentor who's done it before. It'd be that simple. My life would be so much. I'd be at 1,000 members now for sure, easily. Especially because Instagram used to get like way more people talk, as in like views and stuff organically. Now they've like really turned it down. Like I used to get, so my stories used to get, I don't know, 1,000 plus views a day. I'm lucky if I get 350 right now.
Yeah.
And like maybe a good day I get 700. But yeah, that like I would have all this stuff in place. Like all my funnels would be way better. My marketing would have been way better. My product would have been already, I could have got my product better, and I wouldn't have had to work it out all myself. And a lot of it was that.
So if you were that mentor to somebody else, what would you say?
In what way? Like, what
Well,
are you saying? Well,
like if you were the mentor giving out one piece of advice for someone to start, what would the one thing be?
I would say find the person who you want to train. Like you need to think about, like, start thinking about your avatar and then start researching it. Like I know for yourself, like it's you're quite like me. It's like you were the avatar.
Mm.
And that makes it so much easier because like you can go back and think about what you wanted and what what did you want to experience then. And I know like it might have been a long time ago, but I know when you think about it, like you can still bring up those old feelings
The emotion.
of what it was like. And that's going to be the most powerful tool for anyone here going in online, is really knowing who you're going to talk to. If you can see Jade's little head in one of these squares, she's actually starting to really hone in her message and nail her messaging to all her booty bitches. So yeah, that's probably going to be the most powerful thing to start off with, is to work out who you're going to talk to, who it is, and then start either finding people who is that person, who already is, like, you think that person is, and then you can start not experimenting, but you can do research with them. Okay, like you can ask them questions and say, does that resonate? It's like, is this what you want? Does this sound like you? I actually sent a whole bunch of questions to Jaden and Matt. I'm not sure if Matt did it, but Jaden definitely did it. And it was just part of my research. It was just part of digging deeper of who they are and what they want.
That's the difference between me and Matt. I'm reliable.
That's true. But do you know what I mean? Like, if there's one message about going online, it's really diving into who you're talking to, because like you could have the worst product in the world right now. Like it could be terrible, but you'd get people to sign up if you could talk to them, if you could talk to what they want, what they desired.
Patrick.
Oh, Ruth.
What would you say if your clientele is quite broad in the past and you're trying to hone in on that person?
Research on a couple of different ones.
So just
and then find which one is probably more suited.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be the best thing, is just start putting it out there to them. Start creating these profiles. Mine's called Jaden, after Jaden. You start researching these profiles, and then start putting it out there and start talking to the people who you think they are. Mm-hmm. and then you can start developing these people. Like you could, mine's a fake profile of Jaden, who's actually sitting there, but it's fake. But I have all this information.
What would you say if they're like two extremes, two very different?
Then do two different, very extreme things, and then find which one you'd prefer working with.
Fair.
Because if you don't enjoy it, if you don't resonate, it's very hard, especially as a trainer, to be putting stuff out consistently to that person. Like I always think about things like I want to do things that bring me energy. I don't want to do things that drain me. All right, because there's only so much energy you can put out in the world. You got to build up your own energy first. You got to build up, everything yourself first if you want to be able to put it out there to people. So yeah, I in that situation, I'd definitely be picking the one I feel like is resonates with me more. Unless one had significant financial abundance attached.
That's where I was going next.
But
one's got more rate.
Saying that,
yeah.
Sometimes you don't see where where the other opportunities within that are. So like you could have you could say, so like I'm going to use Jade's one for example here. So Jade trains majority young girls, in their 18s to 20s. They're not very confident in themselves. They feel like if they're going to work out, they're going to feel sexy. It's going to make them feel better. People will look at them better. They can go on Instagram and look better. You know, there's thousands of them. They're like, you know, there's so many, and they're all on Instagram and they're all on these platforms, so they're very easily reached. But at the same time, it's very hard for them to give over their money because they're attached to their money. They're young and they don't have as much of it. So that can be a challenge in itself, even though there's more of them. There's a huge opportunity there. You know, it could be like the 45-year-old mum who maybe there's less of on Instagram and these platforms and stuff, but they're willing to pay more. And they're willing to stay with you for longer.
Yeah.
Which is just another opportunity. And then these people might have upsells. So you might be able to sell, get on the Love Your Guts box and upgrade into a Love Your Guts box as well as part of it. And, you know, then you can make money from that too. And you can give them a product which is going to help them out, and you know it's going to help them out. And then might have other affiliates and stuff. And you just start building out these ways of income that bring you money. You know, it's like Nick and his motorbikes. Motorbike Nick, you know, he might have affiliates with like motorbike companies or helmet companies or, you know, whatever, like protein companies. And this is just a networking effect. And then they could be sponsoring him. They could be like, you know, use fast-paced fitness. And then they could be getting a cut of that. So like this networking business is a way for us to really, you know, grow much faster and help more people.
It's big, but I think like the biggest challenge with it is getting people to drop their ego with it. Like I know that, like, you know, in regards to networking with different coaches and that, it's hard to do it because, you know, in one way everyone says that they want to work together and help each other out, but on the other hand, everyone's competing with each other on that sense. So you've almost got to try and find like-minded people that are willing to drop that ego. Like, you know, like there's different companies that I'd love to go and affiliate with and that sort of thing, but they kind of look at you and go like, you know, why should we do that? Or, you know, you're my competition, so why would I bother? You know, I'm trying to crush you. So it's hard to try and find those people that are like-minded to establish an affiliate program like you mentioned.
Oh, definitely. I agree. But when you find it, you know, and if you do find it, you know, you have more potential to be able to go and crush those other businesses, so they come walking to you and be like, oh, we want this now.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm with you. You have to be open to it. And you have to see the possibilities in it. And there's so much power right there. So yeah, it's an interesting concept that I'm still playing with myself, and I'm still looking at opportunities. And the more I open my mind up to these opportunities, the more things I see.
Yeah.
Hey Pat, I had a couple questions.
Yeah, mate.
Firstly, one of the things that stood out for me was when you mentioned that you're starting to get more athletes following you because you had traditionally a lot of strength coaches.
Yep.
And you said once your message changed, what was the big change in your message? Like, what did you start doing differently?
I started speaking to rugby players more. I stopped trying to look like. I stopped talking about exercises so much. Like, I stopped like posting like the exercises I was doing, and I started posting about more stuff that they would do on the field and what would help them on the field. I speak way more about that now, and I speak more about. So now, like, my Instagram is less about educating and more about action. I'm more trying to get people to take action. And if you go and actually read some of my posts, like, you can see it. Like, you can see that there's some posts I do post more educational stuff, but most of it is just talking about action, you know, and that's what most people actually don't do, is take action. And what I'm doing is getting these people to take action. Like I'm opening up their mind to the possibilities of what if they did, you know, what if they did take action? What would they look like? You know, what would they feel in the field? How good would it be? What's it going to feel like if they bust through someone, if they run over someone, if they score a try like freaking Gons likes to score? Oh no, they're still here. Yeah, what if they did that? What if that could be them? And I'm not saying that everyone's going to be like Gons. Not everyone's going to look like him. Not everyone's going to be look like me. All I can do is show them how to be their best possible self. I'm just bringing out their potential. And everyone innately knows that they've got a lot of potential in them. You know, a lot of people, like we like to put ourselves down and say to people, like, we like to be humble or some shit about a lot of this, and we like to like put ourselves down, like, oh no, I'm actually not very good. And realistically, we know deep down that, fuck, we've got so much more to give. We've got so much more potential. And so, yeah, that's what I started posting about. And I started posting about that for footy and how that works. And yeah, that was a big change.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then I had one just in regards to the app. So I'm starting out as a coach now.
Yep.
I'm currently a high school teacher, and I know I'm going to be still teaching for at least up until the end of next year.
Yep.
So a lot of the coaching stuff will sort of be on the side in my spare time. I'm pretty lucky, like with holidays and shorter hours. And I've been really hesitant to go down the route of using an app just because of the costs associated with it. And I know I'm not going to be taking on a lot of clients straight away because I don't have the time for it. Do you think it's worthwhile? Is it worth having the app knowing you're not going to have a lot of clients, you're not going to make as much profit, and have that there to build on and then eventually really kick off? Or
why do you think you won't have clients?
I think just time-wise, and I think about like some of the other coaches and the sort of time and commitment they can offer, and then sort of what I can just starting out. I think it's probably like what you were sort of mentioning before about like a bit of self-doubt and not thinking you're good enough. But I just feel like why would someone go to me at the moment if I'm just starting out, if I don't have a heap of time? It's not sort of my main priority.
So if you were going to start any other business, would you expect to lay out a bit of money to get it started?
Yeah, I know that's where I'm sort of struggling a little bit at the moment. So like part of the ATG for coaches, signed up for like Brando Basics, like mentorship at the moment, because there's not much money coming in from the coaching. And other stuff in the way. I've sort of just been hesitant to do the app. But
I don't know what app you're looking at. I haven't looked at prices of late, but I'm fairly sure that you can do like, I know at least Train Heroic, because I did it with, I helped Jade set up hers. You can have like 5 at a time or something. Like you can sign up in 5 to 10 people, and which is more minimal compared to like having a big layout of like 500 people or something at once, and then you just build up as you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as Zach said. Yeah. Most of them have about 5 to 10 member option, which is way cheaper.
Yeah, no, that definitely could be worth.
And if that's the go, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, no, I think that that makes a lot of sense.
Plus it gives you practice for when, eventually when you do want to take off and add another 20 or 30 people online, at least you've got a year under your belt of using the apps and getting used to it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Who do you want to train?
Ideally athletes. I'd love to work with AFL athletes. That's how I know Trill, but I don't want to necessarily tie myself down. Scott still here?
Yeah.
AFL all the way, baby.
Yeah, love it.
Superior athletes in every way.
Absolutely.
West Coast.
Hey Troy.
Yeah,
Troy. Just on that, bro. That I think the problem at the minute is probably yourself having that self-doubt. I know as an athlete, if we're going to go see a coach, you want to go see a coach that's confident and in what he's doing. You know, he doesn't want someone that's sort of doubting themselves. As an athlete, I think they want to be told what to do. So if you're going to question whether you're doing the right thing or not, that's like, you know, you can't expect them to come to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it also goes for, like, you're talking about money. So another thing that we learned with Paul was, rather than charge them for your time, you want to charge them for your value. So if you look at it that way, you know, then you should get what you want out of it in terms of money wise, and your client as well. You'll get the client that you deserve based off what you value your product as opposed to your time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know, yeah, like through studying the ATG stuff, like I think a lot of the stuff I'd have to offer is relatively valuable, not relative. I think it's very valuable. Like I've been playing at AFL for the last 4 years. Never missed a game due to injury, anything like that, which is pretty rare. And I've been following the ATG system pretty intently. And I think a lot of the people, so I've just missed out on the East Coast strength and conditioning gig over to someone else who's got a degree in sports science. And I think a lot of people tend to go for, they see the degree and they see that, where I think I'm probably a bit more results driven, but only have myself to show. And I think, yeah, sort of maybe backing myself a little bit more with that, and know that the system works, because it's working with me. It's working with the couple people that I work with at the moment. So I think maybe hearing this sort of stuff is that kick up the arse I sort of needed to
yeah, and even just little things. I'm sure Paddy will agree with me here when I say change your language that you speak. So rather than say, oh, I kind of don't know, or I kind of do know, like be assertive with yourself. You'll find that if you're very mindful of that sort of stuff as well, you know, everything will start to shift for you, if that makes sense, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's super helpful. Thank you, everyone. Actually, that was really good.
That's the beauty of like having these like group seminars type things. And this is what Benny and Zach and I have been, you know, been around for the last year, is just having a group of people, you know, we're all wanting to do the same thing, has really helped develop us as people. And like straight away, I could hear it in your language. Like when Benny said that, it was my next thing to bring up was that language. You're putting yourself down. Like there's no need for it. Like especially if you're doing the ATG system, like it's so simple and it works, and it's so simple to teach to people online. Like I use it for like my first couple of programs. Like I use a lot of it because it just builds out foundations. And I tell you what, most people haven't done it. And because of that, they go and try it and they do their TIBs and they're like, holy shit, that thing burnt. You know, like, and that little thing, those little things are actually really helpful for people that try something online. Like I put in burners at the end of workouts just to make people feel like they might not really get much from it as from a training perspective, but in that mind part of it, where they do something and they really feel like they got to push, it really does click. It really makes them feel like they've had a good workout. And if they feel like they've had a good workout, they're going to go away from that pumped. You know, they're going to be like, yeah, I achieved something today. And I think that part of it is very, really important as well. And yeah, so straight away, we could see it like in your language, if you can start reframing how you say some of these things, you know, like I see there's no reason why you can't have 5 clients to start, 10 clients to start off with. Like think about all the guys you've versed in footy. Think about their problems that they're having when they're playing AFL. I'm sure that there's heaps of them, or a ton of them, that get ankle, knee, hip problems, lower back problems, right? And you have the solution for that, because that's what they're really looking for. They're not looking for a coach. They're looking for a solution.
Yeah, no, that's a really good message that sort of is making me super motivated to go start chasing stuff a bit more tomorrow and back myself, because I think, yeah, deep down I back myself and I know I'm good at this. I know what I'm talking about, but then I think I at times probably freak out being new to it and seeing, like, I've, you know, worked with Nick a little bit and seeing these like strong coaches. So sometimes I think I get a little bit hesitant to speak proudly about myself, but it's you're not going to attract people if you don't do it, I guess. So no, that's insanely helpful.
Definitely. remember especially in this, like you're selling someone their solution. You know, I probably didn't say that well enough during the whole thing, but you know, like people buying into me for my value is not because they're looking for a strength and conditioning program. It's because they want the result of that. They're looking for the solution. So like in the AFL realms, like Scott's going to train people from AFL, you're going to train for people at AFL. That doesn't mean that you guys are actually competing, because like, you guys be looking for different solutions. There could be totally two different avatars within AFL. And so like, and technically you guys could team up. It's like Benny and I are both working with rugby league players. You know, we aren't going to be competing at all. We're going to be helping each other out.
Yeah. So the angle that I'm going with that, Troy, my plan is to pretty much get the boys ready for what Paddy does with them. That's so Nick, I was going to say to you as well, it's hard to find people, like you said, you know, that are in that mind frame of sort of helping one another and getting your network. So a good thing to start, Troy, would probably to join Paddy's mentorship thing, because I reckon that 10 that he's got there, he will actually teach you guys how to do all that and how to look at each other in ways that you can use each other and, you know, benefit from each other, but also help each other at the same time. I think that's where you're going to find them, Nick, is in those sort of programs, bros, where, you know, you're mentored by the same person and understanding where you're all coming from, if that makes sense. Same thing with Zach in America. He deals with soccer players, but, you know, even though we're completely different sports, we still bounce off one another. And, you know, I ask Zach if I ever get soccer players, you know, certain questions on how I can help my soccer players. So I think if you can get in with a program with Paddy, when it comes to mentorship, you'll learn from there how to sort of network with each other and how to help each other grow. And, you know, everyone wins. That's the kind of mindset you want anyways. There's plenty of fish in the sea, man.
Absolutely.
Zach's Mr. HEG too. I don't know if you realize that.
Level six now?
No, we're still 4. We'll get there.
I've got to submit all mine.
I haven't submitted anything.
I've got no time, bro.
All that free time you guys are talking about, come on.
I just haven't been bothered. Actually, I probably, if I went through my phone, I pretty much have every standard somewhere there covered. But anyway.
I've got all 8 in my book. I just haven't loaded it up or got anyone to train for it.
Patty, I'm curious for you what your actual product or kind of service looks like. So you've got a bunch of different programs and stuff like that people can pick from depending on age, position, all that kind of stuff. And I know you sell more of like a membership. So is there just like you talked about, you've got your ongoing kind of resources you'll put out there for nutrition, for kind of whatever, all that kind of random stuff. So you've just got like a kind of membership service that has the programs and some education behind it. Do you do like kind of monthly calls, anything like that? I'm just kind of curious what the whole service looks like.
Yep. So there's a monthly call, which anyone can jump on. I usually do a presentation just like the one I just did. I've actually been opening that up to the public just in case, like, you know, people were curious about RDC and wanted to jump on it. Yeah, that's the basic service. So like it is obviously most people are more concerned about the programming more than anything. Like that's the whole number one reason why they're jumping on is they want it. For me, is they want to perform better on the field, all right? And I have the solution for them to perform better on the field. And I'm confident that like I know if they follow the program, they're going to be better on the field. So that's my thing. Is I'm selling the program. The other things are just bonuses on top. Like yes, I have the fuel. I talk about food. I talk about gut health. I talk about sleep. I have all these different sleep hacks on there. I talk about water, filtering your water. You know, I have all these things that filter out on the membership site. And, you know, not everyone's going to see that. But, like, it's just there. It's just another tool. Or, like, if someone comes and asks me, this is part of the automation. If someone comes and asks me, I can just link it to them. Like, hey, read this. Then come talk to me. You know, do you know what I mean? So it's actually making my life a bit easier. What else?
That's kind of what I was thinking about with just like how many different stuff you can get into with nutrition and sleep and like you talk about everything.
Yeah,
like just
goal
to have,
setting even like.
Yeah.
One of the first things is like I want people to set big goals for themselves. You know, if I can get these kids coming in, like young guys coming to me, and if they read my online and they can start thinking bigger, it's like how big could they think? Like, what if they want to go and play for Australia? Well, that's great. Who do they have to become to do that? You know, and in the process of becoming is, you know, that's everything. You know, it's they're like, okay, I've got to get stronger. I've got to get more skills. I've got to do this, and then they might start looking like a professional footy player. They might start looking like Benny.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just thinking about how to like organize that, just putting literally just everything like behind a paywall is just like a members resources section.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
So
a lot
I just
easier
did it on
than how I was thinking about it.
It's all mine's all just drip fed. Yeah, I set that up ages ago. I now I just touch it up. Now I just add things to it, add more things to it, or I'll make adjustments from new knowledge I have coming in. Yeah, I told you he has a good voice, doesn't he? Sweet. Anyone, any other questions? Hit him up. Hello, Jade. Matthew.
It's waiting for us.
Hey, Trillin.
Yo,
How you doing,
It's-
kitty?
it's been good watching you guys have a snuggle
Pardon?
session in the background.
Thanks, buddy.
You're right. I was just waiting for you to take your shirt off.
I'm about
He's
to,
about
actually.
to.
Oh, good. Sweet.
You can sign up to my OnlyFans for that.
I already have.
All right. Well done, Jade. 25.
I know, go me. Woohoo!
Jade's up to 25 online clients. So Jade is someone I've been helping build up her online, and she took a little bit of time at first. What did you take 2 months as well to get your first one? And then we're like, nah. And we changed it all, and straight away she started picking up clients. So well done, Jade.
Thanks.
She's a good little listener. All right, does anyone else have any questions? If not, sweet. All right, I guess that'll do, guys.
Thanks.
If you have questions or you want to do a call with me, please ask. All right, just hit me up on
Will do.
Rugby Development Coach or CSO, whatever, Instagram, however you want to contact me, just contact me, and yeah, let's have a chat about it.
Slide into those DMs.
Slide into the DMs.
Bye.
There you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
Thanks, Patty.